It's a special place and a magical place.
Your long straightaways, the sweeping corners, the speed you carry.
It's unlike anything else.
It's such a big race. It's our Super Bowl of races.
Filled with emotion, you know, I love it.
Indianapolis 500 means everything to me.
It's just the biggest motor racing event in the world for me.
It's the greatest spectacle in racing.
The Indy
500.
The greatest spectacle in racing.
John Cox, Mears makes a try. John Cox wins it.
Drama.
Emotion.
Passion.
Checkered flag is out. Goodyear makes a move. Little Al wins by just a few tenths of a second.
Yard of brakes.
A.J. Foyt at Indianapolis has won his fourth 500-mile race.
Danger.
Winning. Excellent.
Danny Sullivan. Oh, no! And just at that moment, losing control of the car.
History.
History.
There's the checkered flag for Graham Hill, winner of the Golden Anniversary Indianapolis 500-mile race.
500 miles.
The 86th Indianapolis 500-mile race belongs to Helio Castroneves, 2 in a row.
Indy 500.
For the last 6 months, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway has been silent, undisturbed. But in May, this dormant facility becomes a battleground for the best in motorsports. Like a sleeping giant awakened from hibernation, its roar has signaled the start of racing's most historic quest, the Indianapolis 500.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the greatest race course in the world. I certainly wish you all well in your pursuit of victory in the 88th Indy 500 on Sunday, May 30th. I just cannot tell you enough about patience. 70 hours of practice. We practice more for this event than we do the rest of the season combined. If you lapse 1 split second around here, this place will bite you in the ass. That's the nature of this place. Let's be smart, keep everybody healthy and in one piece, and let's have a great month. Thanks, guys.
Race fans, welcome to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
In 2004, the Indy Racing League introduced improvements to its already competitive chassis and engine package. A smaller 3-liter motor and aerodynamic fins on the bodywork were new for May. Car owner Roger Penske was aiming for his 4th straight Indy title, but would have to do so without the reigning champion Gil de Ferran. De Ferran retired and was replaced by 2-time series champ Sam Hornish Jr. Teammate Helio Castroneves returned to challenge for his 3rd 500 crown.
Be in the right place at the right time. Today I don't think I've give any check or a big prize for the team as long as we get one piece and we learned a little bit of today. That's the good news. Now we have a whole week to make sure that we understand the weather, the wind, and everything.
Teams had 6 days of practice to prepare for qualifications. And while the first week of practice wouldn't make your money, it could certainly hurt it.
Robbie Gordon, car number 70, and Gordon has made contact with the wall.
Gordon's contact with the Turn 1 wall made for a frustrating start to his week. And despite the decades of frustration for Michael Andretti, his desire to win Indy hadn't changed since he stepped out of the cockpit. A 4-car team proved tough to beat.
The fastest lap of the month so far, Tony Kanaan, 222.605.
With Tony Kanaan and series points leader Dan Weldon, the Andretti Green drivers were consistently the fastest cars on the track.
There's always a lot of work to be done. You're always chasing the track. I mean, it's a high-speed track, and it is really affected by the weather. So I would never say that you're comfortable.
Team Rahal officially became Rahal Letterman Racing, and the team revealed a 3-car assault led by Buddy Rice.
To be a top contending and a top running team, you need multiple cars. For all of us to be together and jump to a multi-car team, I think it's been a huge step for everyone, and it's been a big learning experience, but it's been fast, and it's been a huge help for especially Rahal Letterman team to switch to the G-Force chassis to get all that information stuff, so it's been excellent.
Rice filled in for the 1999 champ Kenny Breck, who was injured last year.
He's quicker, 221.705. Fernandez closing in on 222.
1995 was the last time Adrian Fernandez toured the famed oval. In 2004, his team returned to Indy, along with rookie Kosuke Matsuri. Neither needed much time to prove they were ready to run up front.
Yellow, yellow, a car in trouble. Looks like it is Marty Roth.
The entry list exuded youth and promise. 20 drivers were relatively new to Indy. 6 were rookies, including Mark Taylor, Darren Manning, and Speedway resident Ed Carpenter. Carpenter looked to 1998 winner and car owner Eddie Cheever for guidance.
The more you work on smoothing out the steering and having less to, the quicker you would go. And every day you'll get better at it.
2-time winner Al Unser Jr. joined Patrick Racing, and both were aiming for a 3rd victory in the May Classic. Felipe Giafoni hoped for a better start with his new team. The Brazilian replaced veteran Robbie Buell upon his retirement in April.
But the front spring helps, right? The car feels still real secure right now. Okay.
4-time champion A.J. Foyt made 2004 a family affair. His team featured son Larry and grandson A.J. the Fourth.
Here comes the rain again. You want to at least see what it's like. Because it might rain from now until Saturday. We won't have any data for cooler weather. Right?
As the first week came to an end, it was Honda that flexed the most muscle. But rain on Friday washed out final preparations and left several teams scratching their heads.
Maybe it helped us, maybe it hurt us. We won't know till tomorrow, and depends how lucky we are on our setup for tomorrow and whether we have to work with it or we hit it right. So, that you don't know until tomorrow.
With hundreds of laps and volumes of data at their disposal, teams put all efforts into qualification, an opportunity that could produce the ultimate advantage come race day. It's the race before the race. 10 miles. The 4 fastest laps without a flutter or a hitch. No mistakes. Beat the clock. These are the toughest turns of the entire month, and only one car, one driver, can stake claim to being on the pole position at Indianapolis. Friday's rain continued well into Saturday. The unfavorable conditions made the search for speed a guessing game.
Today is a brand new day, different conditions, so everything we worked on kind of goes out the window. We start all over again, but we're honing in on it. It's kind of like playing darts. There's a bullseye somewhere in the middle, and we haven't quite hit it yet.
Final practice began under dark skies. It was a sign of things to come for A.J. Foyt IV.
What's that smoke coming from? Hurry up, you guys. What the hell is burning?
The cooler temperatures produced the fastest laps of the month. Tony Kanaan was the first to reach 223 miles an hour, lifting pole day expectations.
So stand by for action.
You got the same track conditions, get a look at your windsock flags. You got 3 laps to get the tires up here. Go out there and give me 4 smooth good ones, buddy.
And he's on it.
Down considerably from his morning warm-up time, Roger Yasukawa qualified the first of 3 Rahal Letterman machines.
2-time Indy Racing League champion, Sam Hornish Jr.
Hornish's first Indy with Team Penske produced the provisional pole with a 220-mile-an-hour average.
We decided that we were going to go for it, and we missed a little bit, but sometimes it's better to try to be the hero than just play it safe.
After a gearbox change, Robbie Gordon took a 216-mile-an-hour average in his Chevy DeLong. He was followed by Scott Sharp, who qualified for his 9th May Classic.
Andretti Green has a powerful stable of cars. This is one of them.
Brian Herta was the first of 4 from Andretti Green to make a run at the pole.
And against the wall. Against the wall is Brian Herta.
Herta survived the incident, but the hit made an impact on teammate Dan Weldon.
Dan, I went out and saw him. I got up in the ambulance with him. He's fine. He banged his knee against the side of the tub. They just want to go look at that. He's awake, conscious, alert, knows the whole thing. I looked right at him, talked to him. He's fine.
Eyes on the front row starting position. 221.874 miles an hour. Each lap quicker. Each lap faster. And right now, Dan Weldon is on the pole at Indianapolis.
That's the problem with caring for your teammates. You know, I didn't do the best the first 2 laps I've ever done in my life. I kind of let what happened to Brian get me a little bit, and I got loose at the last lap in practice, and I let that get to me. But I think it was a good run. I mean, you never know when you qualify this early, do you?
After Weldon's gutsy performance, rookie Larry Foyt qualified for his first 500 with a 213-mile-an-hour average.
Oh, wiggles, spins to the outside, hit the wall.
A stiff wind took Felipe Giafone off course and ended his chances at being a first-day qualifier.
And a wave off. The search for speed goes on, and a wave off, and he's coming in.
4 drivers, 4 failed attempts. Ed Carpenter ended the drought and fulfilled his dream by making his first Indy 500.
Did you ever envision this moment?
A lot, you know, but I never wanted to quit working at it and pursuing it with 100% until I was here. So now it's just a change of focus of getting here to winning the race. So that's what we have the rest of the month to work on.
Bruno Junqueira missed the pole by just 0.2 and starts 4th. Rookie Mark Taylor qualified in the middle of row 5. A quiet contender all month long, Buddy Rice rolled out for his run at the pole.
Hey, we got a chance of seeing the pole car here. Buddy Rice, 222.113 miles an hour.
Rice stunned the crowd, but could he keep it up?
Checkered flag flies high. And Buddy Rice is qualified, and he is on the pole. 222.024 miles an hour. Dan Weldon is shoved back to the number 2 spot.
Nice job, nice first lap.
Well, we knew we had a big number, but I'm not sure that we were expecting the 222. But I guess we didn't expect to sit on the pole necessarily at Homestead either, but we thought we had it, so so with that, it's been good.
More than a dozen cars lined up, ready to knock Rice off the pylon.
217.966 miles an hour. Allenzer Jr.
She was good. You know, yeah, I could have run one flat every lap, but there was no sense in it, you know, and just put this thing in and just forget it.
Thomas Scheckter was the fastest Chevy in the field. Honda power propelled rookie Koski Matsura into 9th spot. And Sarah Fisher put her machine in row 7.
My first time back in a race car coming to Indy is difficult for anybody. And, you know, we just wanted to have a slow progression and get faster and faster, and we were able to do that.
Vitor Meira piloted the final Rahal Letterman car to a speed just a tick under 220. And fellow Brazilian Helio Castro Neves finally landed in row 3.
All right, Hector. That's what it was supposed to be this morning.
Okay, now, hey,
Was it okay?
First lap was loose, and then I kept working on the car, and then it started being neutral and then on the steer, so.
Good job.
He's almost there.
Quick all month long, Adrian Fernandez was 6th fastest in his G-Force Honda.
I'm not as happy as I would like to be because we were running very strong, but at the end we did the best we could and what we had, and you know, we had a good run. I mean, sometimes it goes like that.
Dario Franchitti going for that $100,000 check. He made it to the front row.
Dario Franchitti's second try paid huge dividends. He turned in a 221.4 average and starts third.
We were out to lunch this morning with the car because of the rain out on Thursday and Friday. We worked on race stuff all week, so we were pretty happy. We knew it a bit more in the car on that first run. Waved it off, and luckily the weather held with us for a change. And so, you know, it's not the pole, but it's just up near the front where we want to be.
After one failed attempt, Tony Kanaan would settle for nothing less than the pole.
We still got an hour and a half. You know the game, you know the numbers, you know where we're at. Be smooth, be fast. Put me some big ones up there, buddy.
221.158. And he dropped down. He is the middle of row number 2.
I'm disappointed to myself and not to give my team what we want. I mean, it would be wonderful to have 1, 2, 3 in the front row. And I knew I was a big hope in the team, and we work hard. I think it's all about conditions sometimes, and you know, you need to get lucky too.
Alex Barrett hoped to rebound after his wave on, but instead rebounded off the turn 1 wall. Scott Dixon was off target with his Toyota and settled for 219 miles an hour. Without one lap of practice, Foyt 4 put his new engine to the test.
Ooh, ever so close to the wall down there.
Atta baby. Get better, get better, get better, get better.
The daring run made Foyt the 21st qualifier of the day. He's in with a 214-mile-an-hour average.
Come on, let's keep them moving.
Rookie Darren Manning beat the 6 p.m. deadline, but fell short of the magic mark.
Money time for Ray Hall Letterman, Argent Pioneer, Team Ray Hall, Buddy Rice, car number 15. He's the pole setter for the 88th money of the 500.
For winning the pole, Rice earned $100,000 and the ultimate advantage come race day.
You know, the car was trimmed out, there was nothing left, and if someone was going to go faster than us, they're going to have to do a pretty good number first off, but that means they had to work harder than we did, and to have the Pioneer Argent car up front is exactly everything we've been working for, and so it's a big staple mark for Ray Hall Letterman.
Honda claimed its first pole at Indy by taking 8 of the top 10 starting positions, including the first 7 spots. Beautiful weather graced the Speedway on Armed Forces Day. Sunday was also a day of redemption for the 4 drivers who failed to qualify on Saturday. First up, Alex Barrett.
And he's on it. You talk about a consistent performance. This is a good example.
Barron put his backup car in the field with a solid run, over 218 miles an hour.
You know, we've been working real hard all month, and, you know, it kind of took our wind out of the sails a little bit yesterday, but we came back strong this morning, and I think we got a real good race strategy, too. So overall, we're real happy. I mean, to qualify as consistent as we did, a little bit conservative, but we just want to get the car in the show and move forward from there.
Bruised, but far from beaten, Brian Herta climbed into his spare car and hoped to be the 4th Andretti Green driver to make the race.
It's another good lap. And the checkered flag awaits. And Brian Herta has qualified.
Really, really good. Well done.
We didn't need a 221 car. We needed a consistent, comfortable 219 car, and that's what he gave me, and it just feels great. Great to get it over with, get it in the show, and now we just worry about racing.
As the late afternoon shadows began to creep over the Speedway's main stretch, 2 more drivers attempted to qualify.
A lot of pressure on this 30-year-old native of Japan.
Last year's top rookie, Tora Takagi, struggled to find speed all month. He settled for a 214-mile-an-hour average on his final attempt in Mo Nunn's car. Felipe Giafoni returned to the qualifying order, ready to make amends.
Golly, come on, Felipe. Let's hope they get into the racing field tonight. 216.460.
I think qualifying is almost like a race experience, you know, for us there. The more you get to run, the more you learn, but you got to be careful not to get confused, you know.
At day's end, the 500 had welcomed 4 more qualifiers into its elite lineup. Just 7 spots remained for the greatest spectacle in racing. The track was silent on Monday and Tuesday, and the spoils of being an Indy pole sitter started to roll in for Buddy Rice as he took batting practice with the Indianapolis Indians. But when practice resumed on Wednesday, teams were anxious to restore the Speedway roar. The Andretti Green stable sacrificed speed for stability. They spent week 2 running with full fuel tanks and working the track.
Oh, we have a spin in turn 3. Brian Herta.
Bad luck bit Brian Herta for the 2nd time in a week. On Friday, the rear suspension failed on his Delora, sending him hard into the turn 3 wall. Herta escaped uninjured. The Menards Infiniti Pro Series split track time with the IndyCars as they readied for the 2nd annual Freedom 100. Brazilian Thiago Medeiros was the one to beat for the pole.
He really picked it up. He is rolling. And he has a shot suddenly at the pole position.
Medeiros won the pole with a new track record of 189.274 miles an hour.
The 2004 500 Festival Queen is Jennifer McConnell.
Week 2 concluded with the annual Mayor's Breakfast. And the 2003 race winner, Jill DeFerrin, crowned the new queen. Last year, Ed Carpenter dominated the inaugural Freedom 100 and used that win to catapult him into the IndyCar Series. This year, 17 Menards Infiniti Pro Series drivers earned a chance to race at the Brickyard.
Thiago Medeiros and Paul Dana will lead them to the Yard of Bricks as we get underway. The Fataba Freedom 100 green flag flies side by side. Medeiros and Dana's heading to turn number 1. They go 3 wide, Jerry Baker.
Jeff Simmons is going to get the lead remarkably from the inside of the 2nd row. Jeff Simmons will take the lead. He's got competition as they head to turn 2.
As they roared down the backstretch, Medeiros and Simmons touched wheels, but the Brazilian held off the charge to lead the first lap.
That's about as thrilling a first lap as you're going to look for.
But on lap 5, an early caution gave Simmons another chance at the lead.
They go side by side across the Yard of Bricks. Simmons on the inside, Medeiros on the outside. They head to turn number 1.
And here comes Ari Linddyke trying to make action. Here's the move. Jeff Simmons will take the lead. Simmons will move past Thiago Medeiros.
We've got Medeiros. We've got Simmons. They're side by side. This is the battle for the lead. It will be Medeiros in turn number 1.
Medeiros made the move, was exiting turn 4, got him on the straightaway. Now he has a huge lead.
Once Medeiros regained the lead, he proved to be untouchable.
We've got a crash in turn 1. 2 cars touched wheels right at the beginning of turn number 1. And the outside car, and I can't see it, it's Jesse Mason, we are told right now. Jesse Mason in car 3.
The safer barrier cushioned the hard hit, and Mason escaped the incident unhurt.
And Quintanilla spins. He's heading toward the inside retaining wall, and he is going to smack it, not that heavily.
The yellow cemented the victory for Medeiros and Sam Schmidt Motorsports.
21-year-old Thiago Medeiros from Sao Paulo, Brazil. He leads the Menards Infiniti Pro Series point standings. He will strengthen that lead with a win at the world's greatest race course. The fist in the air, the checkered and yellow fly together. Thiago Medeiros is your winner.
Teammate Ari Linddyke Jr. was 3rd. Medeiros dominated the race, leading 35 of 40 laps. It was his 3rd win in 4 tries.
I think it's the most important race have I ever won in my whole career. I mean, special here for the top category, the aero, and I mean that was my goal, and we did it.
Simmons' runner-up finish paid off immediate dividends. The 27-year-old accepted a late invitation to drive a 2nd car for Monon Racing in the 500. Simmons had less than 24 hours to prepare for qualification.
After the race yesterday, I thought it was kind of a slim chance, but then about 2 seconds later, they said it was a go. So just when you think that it's not looking so good, you know, you get a great opportunity like that.
Of all the qualifying days in May, Bump Day has produced the most headaches. In 2004, 7 spots remain to be filled.
Reopening the track for qualifications and or practice.
In a car painted identical to the one his father, Parnelli Jones, won with in 1963, P.J. Jones was the first to make an attempt.
It's great to have a Jones back to the Speedway, in a 98 especially. Give me 4 good ones.
Jones became the 19th second-generation driver to qualify at Indy.
It's nerve-wracking watching, you know, especially for my younger son, Paige, who got hurt. And, so I'm a little nervous.
Great feeling. I mean, you know, not exactly how we wanted to do it, but it's awesome, and we're in solid, and you know, we couldn't stand any heroics today. We just went out, put it in the field.
Marty Ross became the first driver in history to qualify for both the Freedom 100 and the Indy 500. The Canadian started in row 11.
Just give me 4 good smooth ones, and we'll race them like hell on Sunday, all right? Welcome back. You deserve to be here.
1996 champ Buddy Lazier was the 3rd former 500 winner to make the show. He qualified at just over 215 miles an hour. Less than a day after getting the ride, rookie Jeff Simmons impressed everyone with a run that put him in the middle of row 10. He's the 5th Pro Series driver to make the race.
That's Phil to qualify for the Indianapolis 500.
Veterans Richie Hearn and Robbie McGee qualified for their 4th 500. An hour after turning his first laps of the month, Greg Ray wasted no time in making his qualifying attempt.
And it's our best of the day. Greg Ray, 216.975 miles an hour.
Ray's G-Force Honda was the quickest of the bump day qualifiers. The field was full. But would there be any bumping?
We're hearing some discussion there in the Foyt garage that Tony Stewart has arrived.
I can tell you right now, Brian Barnhart has confirmed that Tony Stewart has passed the physical.
The former IRL champion and current stock car ace was spotted in A.J. Foyt's garage.
You know, I respect Tony highly, and I know Tony would love to run this race. I know that he'd love to win this race.
After a brief rain shower, Stewart appeared ready to make his first run at Indy in 2 years. As the crowd grew, so did the drama. Foyt's backup car made its way to pit lane, with Stewart suited up and ready for action.
He won't let us run it at all. He don't want us to run it at all.
But contractual conflicts kept Stewart from getting into the car.
It takes 6 corporate sponsors like that to do all this stuff, and you know, we just got to make sure that when we do this, we do it right, and not you know, AJ and I did it from our hearts and did it with emotion today, and you know, the passion of this place.
So qualifying concluded with a different kind of drama, but no bumping. The 2004 starting lineup featured 33 drivers representing 9 different countries, 8 rookies, and 3 former champions.
Happy birthday, dear Anthony. Happy birthday to you.
Where's my candle?
5 days before the Indianapolis 500, the field's youngest driver, A.J. Foyt IV, celebrated his 20th birthday.
Thanks, Dad.
While a new golf club was a substantial gift, there would be no greater present than a visit to Victory Lane on race day.
Indianapolis 500 is a very big race for my team, and especially my grandfather. He's won this race 4 times and the first one to do it. So this is like a mini season. We put all we can into this 1 month.
Kosuke Matsura was the fastest of 8 rookies to make the starting lineup. All were honored at the annual rookie luncheon, with Matsura picking up the tab.
Yeah, I'm very surprised, you know. Very huge track, and everything's great, and a lot of fans. And a lot of fans call me, Kosuke, good job, yeah, I'm very happy.
Community Day gave fans a chance to get up close and personal with the drivers and the Speedway. Activities included an autograph session and the opportunity to take a lap around the famed oval. The IndyCar Series video game tournament gave racers a chance to hone their skills while having some fun. On Thursday, it was back to work. Carburation Day is the final tune-up for drivers and teams. In the 2-hour session, all 33 cars hit the track.
I don't think we have the fastest car, or at least my side. I don't think like a lightning car that's going to be lead and take off. But I do think we have a consistent car. And that's what you need for 500 miles. 3 hours of racing. You want to make sure that at least if you cannot pass, you at least be able to follow those guys. Because one day, one time, soon, a back mark is going to be on the way, like happened to me last year, or something goes wrong on a pit stop, and that's where you're going to make the pass.
Drivers turned in over 15,000 laps during the month of May. But the most important laps would come on Sunday. The annual Pit Stop Challenge put the spotlight on the 6 men who hurdle the pit wall and service these speed machines without hesitation. Perfection in the pits means 4 tires and fuel in 8 seconds. There's only one chance to get it right. The 12-car competition was trimmed to 2. Team Penske versus Ray Hall Letterman Racing.
Here comes the green flag. We're underway. $20,000 goes to the winner of this pit stop competition. Carefully watching. Oh, looks like Buddy Wright's going to defend his title.
The Castroneves crew made a critical mistake, costing them the win.
We had a bottle of our own, but we kept with it. The guys kept on going. This is a hard-working group of guys, and man, I'm so proud of them and so proud of Arjun and Pioneer. It's a great day. Honda Motors just launched out of the box. This is awesome.
This doesn't have anything to do with me. This is all about the boys. They on their way to get into this competition, and they end up coming out here winning it. We had the first round bye, and you know the second round was an excellent stop for them just to come out and have to knock off a big team, you know, and ended up knocking out the Penske guys, and those guys are always strong. So this is great for them. This is a big confidence builder going in.
With the pole and pit stop titles to its credit, the only thing that separated Ray Hall Letterman Racing from a magnificent May was the Borg Warner Trophy.
They're going for the trifecta.
Go for the trifecta!
Not since 1981 had a team pulled off the clean sweep, but Rice and Ray Hall were determined to rewrite history. While the track was silent on Friday, the Brickyard Crossing golf course was not as subdued. Celebrities and racers were driving in a different manner in the inaugural Golf Skills Challenge.
It's all right, don't worry.
PJ Jones and TV's Average Joe Adam Mesh took home the first place trophy. The day before the race was relaxed. The public drivers meeting presented final instructions, while the annual 500 Festival Parade highlighted the pride and pageantry of Indianapolis in the month of May. A month of practice and patience reached its climax. On Sunday, 33 drivers would take on the world's greatest race course. History would be made when the green flag fell on the Indianapolis 500.
It's the race of all races. It was special before I was in this world.
25 laps in IndyCar race, it's a big chess game.
It's the only place that 450, 500,000 people are in one place at one time.
The biggest motor racing event in the world.
Everything that goes on with Indy is so dramatic.
It's an assault on your senses, really. It's an adrenaline rush for every person in the grandstand.
I'd like to be remembered as an Indy 500 winner. I don't care where you're from, the Indy 500 is very special.
That victory is all important and kind of sets you up for life.
Any lap on the track, to me, is filled with emotion.
I want to drink the milk bad. I drink a lot of milk as it is, so I'm all prepped up for it. I'm ready to go.
Race day at Indianapolis has no equal. When the Speedway gates opened at 5 a.m., the first of over 300,000 spectators filed in, witnesses to the world's largest single-day sporting event. Race day featured many familiar faces. The Speedway rolled out the red carpet for celebrities from sport, stage, and screen. Several stars on hand for the very first time.
As soon as we got into town, we walk off the plane, and you could feel the energy.
Last year I was out here running cables, doing the camera work, being the utility for ABC. This year, I'm waving the flag, I'm enjoying myself, I'm having the VIP treatment.
This is too exciting to put it in words, just a couple of words. Can't do it. It's just a very, very exciting thing. If you've ever been here and they say, gentlemen, start your engines, and you don't get chills, there's something wrong with it.
It's one of those things where, even though I wasn't as aware of the whole thing, you know, now that I'm here, I will be hooked for life, I feel like.
Hometown boy David Letterman's interest was more business than pleasure, as co-owner of 3 entries in this year's race.
Anybody who grows up here, it becomes part of you, and as a kid, my family would bring me out, and something about the springtime, and finally the weather is nice, and you can go outside, and for the month of May, the world comes to Indianapolis, and it just becomes very tightly interwoven with your experience of living here, and to be able to come back and see the race, to be able to come back to the city, but be able to come back with your car on the pole is nuts. It's just crazy.
Morgan Freeman had the lead role in the May Classic, but leading 33 cars to the green at top speed would be unlike any role Freeman ever played in Hollywood.
I'm very excited. This is very new to me. Very, you know, this is the first time I was ever at a race. It's the first time I get to hear all of the noise, all of the sound. I'm like a kid.
Mother Nature was also on hand for the race. Early morning showers delayed the start and forced teams back to the garages, adding to the anticipation. When a window of opportunity arrived around noon, the daunting task of drying the track began. Drivers and crews hustled to the grid for the opening ceremonies. The final minutes before the green flag are both precious and thrilling.
O'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Plan S is we're going to use the stick, because what we're going to do here, if we can, depending on just exactly where we're coming in a big line, you with me, we can do it, you know, we'll short filler time. You know, a second might get us out and hit a couple of these guys.
Back home again in Indiana, and it seems that I can see the gleaming candle.
Drivers, to your cars.
And in this sea of thousands, 33 racers search for just one moment alone to focus and visualize the journey ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
88 years of tradition, a legacy unlike any other, the ultimate sports moment.
Morgan Freeman has brought the pace car off the track, and Buddy Rice will pull to the front. The green flag waves, and we're underway. Buddy Rice will lead the Indianapolis 500-mile race into turn number
1. Rice used the pole position to his advantage and opened up the lead by 20 car lengths.
Trouble and a yellow. Car number 14, AJ Point, the fourth.
Just brushed the wall coming out of turn 4 and thought everything was okay, and went in turn 1 and found out it wasn't. Just really disappointed myself, and feel sorry for the Conseco and the whole Conseco team. They worked hard all month to go out this early, way too early.
The first caution of the day created a frenzy in the pits. A well-executed stop by Weldon's crew sent him out first. Alex Barron started 24th, and by not pitting, inherited the lead.
Green flag is out as we are back to racing, so it will be Barron, Herta, Weldon. It will be Herta going to the outside. Dan Weldon in a fight for the lead with his teammate Brian Herta. And they run nose to tail in the midway point of the back straightaway. Dan Weldon taking a peek down low. He'll pull alongside Brian Herta. He'll make the pass in the entrance to turn number 3.
Weldon soared past his teammate to take the lead on lap 19.
Dan Weldon has the lead. His left wheel's in the white line as he goes through 2, but look out, he's got company in his rearview mirror. Here comes two-time winner Elio Castroneves.
A yellow flag. Moisture on the race course.
Rain once again sent the crowd and cars looking for cover. It was a few laps under caution, and then the race was stopped after only 28 laps. The weather forced Robbie Gordon out of his car for good. His NASCAR commitment would keep him from completing the daily double.
I don't know if this is it for today or what, but go somewhere and relax.
The Speedway was blanketed in uncertainty as drivers and fans wondered when the race would continue. "90 minutes after rain interrupted the race, the track was ready to go green once again. Jacques Lazier stepped into the cockpit for Robbie Gordon. It was the first time in 27 years the 500 featured a relief driver.
Ladies and gentlemen, restart your engines.
And we're racing once again. Buddy Rice will nearly scrape the wall on the inside. Jerry Bakers, they go 3 wide for second.
Unbelievable move by the pole sitter, Buddy Rice. He picked up 3 spots. He's running second, but up front it's Dan Weldon in turn 2.
Using every piece of Speedway real estate, Rice squeezed his G-Force Honda into second place and began to hunt down the leader, Dan Weldon.
Less than 2 car lengths behind the leader, Dan Weldon. It looks like Jerry Baker, he's going to set him up in wide.
He puts his wheels to the inside, side by side, and he's got the move made. Buddy Rice, your new leader in the Indianapolis 500.
15 laps after Rice resumed his role as race leader, slower cars allowed Team Penske to catch up.
Trying to get through some lap traffic. Look to the inside. Sam Hornish Jr.'s looking to the inside. Trying to get around, and he makes the move. Sam Hornish Jr. takes over the top spot. We have a new race leader.
For the first time in his career, Sam Hornish Jr. led the Indy 500. The traffic jam also allowed others to improve their position.
Look at this move. Vitor Mira almost went down in the grass as he was trying to get around traffic. Mira trying to make a move. And there's a car against the wall. Larry Foyt in car number 41. The Foyt stable is having tough luck today.
Nice and easy on your marks. Nice and easy. Reset fuel. Head lane speed limiter off.
The close calls carried over into pit lane as drivers tried to turn split-second stops into big gains on the track. The Ray Hall Letterman crew sent Rice out first. Car 15 was flawless for the next 35 laps.
We have got Mark Taylor into the wall along with one of the Cheever Racing cars. Scott Sharp and several other cars trying to get through that mess. Debris all over turn 3. It's Cheever and one of the Red Bull Racing cars.
We both had the line on Mark, and he didn't respect that, and I pushed up because Alex was right in front of me, and there wasn't any space between me and Mark, and we touched, and that's what happens.
The restart signaled some spectacular racing. Cars spread 5 wide on the straightaway.
You've got about 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 cars all contending for the lead, all together in a pack. That's a big mass of cars, and remember, they're all contenders for the lead.
Lap 95 brought Weldon and Kanaan into the pits for service. Rice stayed out with Hornick hot on his heels.
The 98 car of P.J. Jones made contact with the outside wall, so the day comes to a close for P.J. Jones in that Curb Records car.
Bad luck for Jones. Perfect timing for Weldon and Kanaan. The duo ducked out of the pits early enough to avoid the mad dash.
The leader has stalled. Buddy Rice has stalled, trying to leave the pit exit. They'll get him fired and underway, but cars streaming by. A bad break for the early leader.
That's this car out here. We'll get sorted here. We still got a long ways to go.
Mistake by Rice and Hornish put them further behind the new race leader.
Dan Weldon is your leader. He'll bring them off of turn number 4, down the front straight across the yard of bricks. Tony Kanaan in tow, and it's going to be the teammates from Andretti Green going side by side.
Kanaan shoots the lead. He's got a 7-car length advantage over his teammate.
Tony Kanaan set up for turn number 1. Looked like he was shot out of a cannon.
It's an Andretti Green 1, 2, 3.
And we got a problem. A problem on pit road. 3 cars are together. Sam Hornish Jr. is one of them. It looks like one of the target cars as well.
3 cars went spinning and then hit the barrier on the inside of the track, and then they were spinning down the pit row.
The strange incident sent debris flying across the pits. Hornish, Greg Ray, and rookie Darren Manning were all victims of the mess.
I don't know what Greg was thinking really, but because I was totally alongside him and actually trying to pass out Little Al at the same time, so got just a good run. I don't know if he spotted, didn't call it or what, or he just didn't see me.
Kind of a victim there, so when you get to the back of the field, that's what happens.
We just have taken a look at the radar, and we have definitely got a storm with a lot of rain in it closing on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Green flag is out. Tony Kanaan will lead his teammate Weldon across the line. They go side by side to turn number 1. Weldon has the edge.
Any teammate ties were severed once the green flag fell. The battle from within began.
Tony Kanaan will go to the inside of Weldon as they go across the yard of bricks. Banks, he's trying to set him up in 1.
Not only set him up, he got him like Tony Kanaan. We take the lead.
We got a problem in turn 4.
And it's rookie Marty Roth. He was out of the groove and he hit the wall.
Marty Roth's meeting with the turn 4 wall brought out the day's 7th caution.
It looks like Helio Castroneves has overshot his pit stall. Let's go to Kevin Lee.
He missed it. They had to back him up. Now they've got it back in. They've got all 4 tires off. Actually, 3 of the 4 are back on. The 4th goes on. They've got it fueled. It's still on the jacks. It is still having some difficulty, and they have now dropped it in a pit stop of 28 seconds. Very costly for Castroneves.
The error would keep Team Penske from a 4th straight Indy win, while Weldon edged Kanaan out of the pit. Bruno Junqueira stayed out, hoping the rain would end the race sooner rather than later.
Tony Kanaan will go 3 wide as he makes the move inside of his teammate Dan Weldon in 1.
And they may have come very close to touching.
Now, the real race developed behind the lead.
They are 4 wide as they exit at 3. Junqueira with Kanaan as we are seeing some unbelievable racing.
A hungry pack of cars fought for position and started their assault on the lead.
Kanaan runs in 2nd, then it's Dan Weldon 3rd, Brian Herta 4th.
Holy cow, we got ourselves a race here, boys. Buddy Rice starting to get racy. We've got ourselves a barn burner at the 88th Indianapolis 500. We are seeing an exhibition that we have not seen the likes of this in many, many years.
With no time to wait and rain on the way, Rice began his charge to the front.
The fastest guy on the track right now, it appears, Mark James, is Buddy Rice.
Right to the inside of Dan Weldon. He picks up the 3rd spot. The pole sitter now running in the top 3, and he sets his sights on Tony Kanaan for 2nd.
It's Buddy Rice, the pole sitter, starting to reel in Tony Kanaan now. He's within 6 car lengths.
Bruno Junqueira has pulled off the racetrack.
When Junqueira had to stop for fuel, the battle for 2nd became a battle for the lead.
We're also watching Buddy Rice take care of Tony Kanaan in 1.
Buddy Rice picking them off 1 by 1, and now he's starting to put distance between himself and 2nd place, Tony Kanaan. 12 laps ago, Buddy Rice was in 5th place. Now he's in 1st, the Rahal Letterman machine by 15 car lengths.
We continue to watch the radar, and there's no doubt about it. There's a system moving this way.
As sprinkles slowly fell on the track, the crews readied for their final pit stop. But Rice gambled against Mother Nature on lap 167.
Buddy Rice is in his pit stall.
Taking on tires and fuel, guys. The car is in good shape. A 9-second stop for Buddy Rice.
A flawless stop kept him in contention, and when the other contenders cycled through the pits, Rice found himself back in front.
Then we have got rain in the Indianapolis Motor Speedway area.
Moisture, moisture, a yellow.
Okay, guys, but we'll keep our focus here. We're getting pretty excited. Hopefully you're not, but we're just, we'll ride this rain out, see what happens.
Yeah, 10-4.
Call it luck or perfect strategy, but when the yellow came out, Rice didn't mind one bit. Just 65 miles from completion, rain forced an early end to the 500-mile race.
An American driver has started on pole, and an American driver has won the Indianapolis 500-mile race.
Good job for the month, guys. Way to go. Thank you very much. You guys deserve it. All the hard work you did.
Hey, Buddy Rice, you just won the Indy 500.
The rain couldn't dampen the spirits of Rice and the Ray Hall Letterman team. They had won the greatest spectacle in racing.
To be in the company of the guy I'm filling in for and my boss is totally cool, and they both won it on big circumstances as well. It wasn't given to them, and they earned it hard, so it makes it very satisfying to beat the guys I had to beat today that are so strong, and I have a lot of respect for. So this is great. It's pretty cool. It's the biggest way to go, and you're not going to be able to top this.
We stalled it in the pits, and there was no strategy falling that far back. We don't want to be that far back. We wanted to be up front. We drove past everybody.
Ray Hall returned to victory lane for the first time since he won as a driver in 1986. Now an owner, Ray Hall could celebrate the victory with partner David Letterman.
From the beginning, the first start and the restarts, and he fell back and kept working his way and working his way. You couldn't give up on him. He never gave up on him. And I don't think the rain the rain means we go home a little early, but it didn't determine the outcome of this race.
In addition to Rice's amazing run, teammates Vitor Mira and Roger Yasukawa finished 6th and 10th respectively, capping an incredible race for the Ray Hall Letterman team. While Rice found shelter in a makeshift victory lane, a hard rain fell on Andretti Green Racing.
He deserved it. I drove my best. The whole team 7-11 did a great job, and like I said, you can work as hard as you can, but if it's not your day, it's not your day, and today wasn't our day.
I think for Andretti Green Racing to have 3 in the top 4 is very commendable, but that we've worked so hard for this as a team to try and win this race. It wasn't our day. I think Buddy Rice did a very, very good job.
Teammate Brian Herta jumped from 23rd to 4th, his best Indy finish.
The month I had, this feels like a win. I've into the wall hard twice and just various little problems, and then here in the race it all came right, and we got a nice result. And would have liked to win, but like I said, this is Indy, and coming from where we started, it's a great day, great effort for Andretti Green Racing.
$1,761,740 for being the winner of the 500-mile race.
In the days and weeks that followed the 500, Rice's life was a whirlwind of television appearances and special events, highlighted by a trip to the White House. For Buddy Rice and Ray Hall Letterman Racing, a month of heart, hope, and sacrifice culminated with racing's highest honor, champion of the Indianapolis 500.